All right, so we have the first single sheet. We've pretty much, well, hopefully debugged and got all of the geometries correct here. So I'm going to go ahead and kick that one out, make sure it gets saved. And we'll go back in. I'm going to start with the landscape and we'll go a different direction this time. So I'm going to start with the landscape and then I'm going to switch it to my the simple A land that I made uh, during the optional drawing videos. So when I go to the model view, we're going to pull up 5-4 and hit OK. I did not pick, so let's just go ahead and select. There we go. We'll do that one. And in this case, if oh, it went right to the exploded view, so I guess I might have left it that way. If we decide not to go to the exploded view, or you didn't do the exploded view, that again, that's fine. Let's go to a 1x1 on the scale. So all the way down here at the status bar, you'll see the current scale. And we'll switch to 1x1. That might be a little big. Let's go to 1x2. That one's quite a bit better. Make sure that we have it selected, and the tables is still at the bottom just off of my screen. So build materials, and because of the naming, renaming, I'm gonna probably save that that template this time. So we'll go ahead into, now when I'm picking these, I'm double clicking at the what would that be, the column level, and I want to switch it to part number. All right, and then to rename these, I'm double clicking in the field, and then this becomes the part name. And if we're going to go with the scaling, I'm going to double click on each of those, make that look a little better. And we'll go with the save as, and it's going to default to the template. It went back to my folder, and the Excel file, text file, CSV. I'm going to go ahead and put this in the templates, and then this is going to be my bill of materials. Got a couple T's in there. Okay, close enough. So next time I will pull that one up and it'll be ready to go. So if you didn't create the exploded view, when we go to do the balloon, that's going to be under annotations, auto balloon. That doesn't look too bad. I'd like to try to line all of those up on the right, and we'll grab the magnetic line. So I need to click in one of the balloons, and then the line that shows up is going to show me the selection. That would look a little bit better there. That one's not real clear, so I'm going to move it over a little bit. And that one's not real clear, so I'm going to pick another spot for it. So we can kind of manipulate those as needed, and you get the sense. So the only real thing with the exploded view is you can kind of tell the separation of the pegs in that group. So to make this a multi-sheet, since I want to change my sheet format, I'm going to go ahead into the properties, and because I did not, and this is one I want to check, is because I did not select my original template. Let's go to the sample or the simple A landscape and apply the changes. And we'll go ahead and rebuild. Well, there weren't any materials or finish. We have the names, we have the bill of materials for the grouping, and I'll go ahead and reposition. And so I haven't created a custom property for this, so maybe we would go ahead and create another one of those. We'll save that one. But I do want to add the sheet, and it did find my sheet format, so it picked and was able to locate. So that one did transfer okay. If we go the view palette route this time, let's pick 5.5 and rebuild. And I'm going to drag in. Now keep in mind you have dimetric and trimetric, and those are just different orientations. So I want to use a couple of those. And we'll right click and find the bill of materials. So down to tables, into the bill of materials, and there is a bill of materials standard. Let's see if that one's open. The table template. So I want to go back to my drive and open and then accept, and hopefully that will stay there. So my sizing comes in, all of the geometry is there. That looks pretty good. Annotation, auto balloon. All right, so since I have the exploded view, I'm going to go ahead and see what that looks like. Control C, Control V. It did come in with the balloons on the copy, so I'm just going to go through and delete those on that view. And since we have a little room, we'll go back now, and when I click on the show in the exploded state, that view got a little bit big. So based on what I told it to do in the trimetric, let's switch back to the isometric. That might be a little better. Dimetric, no. All right, so we can kind of play around with those. But in this case, I don't want to change the sheet scale. I just want to use the custom scale for that view. So 1 to 2, let's see, 1 to 5, it's kind of small. Let's see, do I get use model text scale? No. If I go back to sheet, there should be one more showing up somewhere, but okay, if I have to choose 1 to 5, let's see if we can just overwrite it and maybe go 1 to 4. No, it didn't change. So that view is not picking it up in the same way. All right, well, close enough. I mean, that looks pretty good. So we'll go to the next sheet. We're kind of alternating back and forth here. So model view, P5-5, 5-6. And we'll go to the isometric. Right click, getting a little closer, but it's still off of the screen. Bill of materials. If it wasn't, then I would just scroll down. So I went back to the standard. I probably could set that in the options somewhere. I'd have to go look and set the my bill of materials to the default. All right, and then we'll go in, annotation, auto balloon. Yeah, that doesn't look too bad, but I do want to change the positioning a little bit. So what was attached to that one? So since I apparently broke the magnetic, I want to go back until I see the little U that's the magnet. That one looks okay. 1 is by itself, and 3 and 5. So if I expand that out a little bit, maybe I drag 3 down here and point to that L bracket instead. And we go up a little bit, and we'll have the different size pegs. So the C bracket did not come in with a part number. So that one is probably one that was not part of the um, I'm going to go ahead and name these while I'm thinking about it. P5-8 assembly. That one was the single, so it did not have the geometry in it. So if I want to correct for that, I'm going to open it. Just right click on the part, go to the view palette, to the custom properties. Not the view palette only works in the drawing. We'll add a date. This one is going to be, I have to go back and find it. All right, so the BK20-2. All right, material isn't specified if it's in the list still. There's 1040, this will save. And I think I told it to paint those, so it's fine. We'll save it, close it, and now it has the C bracket information because it was single. So that's kind of the importance of making sure your files are consistent with the naming, with the configurations. Um, we don't want to mix and match too much. We mix and match as the example, but it's probably not our preference. So let's see, P5-4 is coming through all of those. So that would be something I want to check in my sheet format is, do I have that pointed to this? Because it doesn't look like it. It's still going back to the naming and um, the part or the drawing name did update. So 5-7, I think we're at. And rebuild, we'll bring in the isometric and right click and tables and bill of materials. And yeah, I'm going to have to, if I was doing this a lot, I would either have to put it in here in the tunneled down program file SolidWorks language English, or just get used to navigating back to it. And we'll hit OK and make sure that we auto balloon. And so this is really what I want you to get used to the process, why I'm not overly concerned about the exploded view at this point. Just getting into that rhythm of creating the views and setting and paying attention to what's going on with our balloon callouts and the other things that are showing up. So apparently that one was pointed to one of the other ones. I'm not quite sure. All right, so it doesn't know what I pointed it to, so it gives me the question mark. Go back and pull the line. So there's one. That was one. So that must be going to A2, which is the Z bracket. All right, so 1, 2, 3, 4. Highlight that, pull it in a little closer. Those look okay. And zoom to fit. And then the last one should be the 5.8. All right, so just pick your favorite, your preferred. Bringing the view in. We'll go to isometric. Again, the scale is a little bit small at 1 to 5 on that one, so we'll switch it. And since it changed to 1 to 2 on the sheet view, that means that the sheet scale did not update. Now I could go in at the custom scale and override it, which would be fine. And I was going to say, let's see if we can get, there's tables, and bill of materials is cut off. Well, we'll do this one more time. And again, if you use the default, that's going to be fine with the bill of materials. I just want to pretty much see the table that you were able to generate. Although that does look pretty nice. So annotation, auto balloon, okay. We'll bring those out a little bit, stretch that one. All right, looks okay. So we will save this, make sure everything updates, and then we can go through, just do a quick double check. And view-wise, did that one stay or was it, no, it went back to the sheet scale. So I'm not quite sure what I told to do, and the spacer 30 by 20 was one that was updated. That was a single apparently. So, this is where keeping track of those items and being diligent on which files you're needing. even if I developed those and decided, well, we decided later to create the configured item, then I would probably pull those out of the mix so that I wouldn't accidentally put them in the assembly that I would be using for this project, for the assembly, all of the same part. So the part name spacer 30 by 20 is the indicator that it is not my plate for the 30 by 120. And then the Z bracket kind of leaves that one open. The L bracket we modified, so I could go back and modify those. I could also go into this part. Maybe that would be an interesting add-on, is to go in and replace this with the configured part and see how it comes over. But at some point, it's done. It's usable. If this is as far as it goes, then I really don't have to worry about it. At any time, I can select the view and switch to show an exploded state, and we're going to be able to grab those. Now, that's right on the edge of what I would want to do, but we'll go with it. All right, so save it, and we'll call these assembly drawings good for now.